or less. Awesome. So we're live on Facebook, Periscope, and Twitter. No, I'm sorry, I just Twitter, Periscope, sorry. Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope. So anyway, we had a massive Sunday on American Hammers TV. We had a great interview with Cameron Robson, the GSB Out T-shirt wearing flag bearer. Great show with Steve Mothersoul and Selly. And then I interviewed Graham Howlett. Actually, no, the other interview with him, sorry, was with Irish Tommy. My interview was with Selly. We interviewed Graham Howlett from He's Up with the Brown, which was awesome. And then we had the Weekend Review, kind of like this show, where Weekend Review Part 2, just call it a different name. And then, then we had Fisher Focus with an American Manchester City fan who has his own podcast. And, that was pretty good. You're shaking your head, Tex. It's like you're shaking your. Anyway, so I'm going to introduce everybody. Dan, next to me, is he's from London, but he's in Greensboro, North Carolina now. So if any of you out there watching this are in the area and want to have a pint with another hammer, Dan's your man. And then next to Dan is Mr. 65 Toss Power Trap. Tex, the Kansas City Chiefs boy. Yeah, there you go. Yeah, there you go. Yeah. Mr. American Hammers Radio. You were our first host of American Hammers Radio, and you still are the host of American Hammers Radio, our podcast, which is awesome. Seriously, listen, more and more people have to listen to that because it really is great. It's a great listen. And then beneath him is but not really beneath him, just below him, I suppose, is Charlie Walsh, our great friend, lovely man. Gives a great hug from Hammers Chat. So that's awesome. And then next to him, another man who gives nice hugs as well is Reid Bowen. And he's in Liverpool, but he's originally from London. We got a full house tonight. This is great. Super excited. We got a lot to talk about as well. First and foremost, I do got to mention that we have a website. I got to say it. It's a really nice website. Alex put a lot of work into it. It's AmericanHammers.net. And we got our podcast, links to our podcasts on there. We also have our YouTube stuff on there as well, and an amazing shop for people in the United States and also people abroad. We actually fixed it, converted. We got the pound conversion in there now, so you can see what it's really going to cost you. Tons of cool shit in there. Really, seriously. So besides all that nonsense, tomorrow night I do have an interview with, we're bringing interviews back, which is neat. So I got an interview tomorrow night. I guess it's not really a surprise, but I just forgot who I have an interview. So we got a lot of interviews coming up. Anyway, let's start with Dan this evening. We're also going to pay attention to the chat room as well. So if you guys want to play along with us and give your opinions, we'll try to pull them up on the screen here and, show you out, I guess. But first things first, I really want to talk about Jarrod Bowen. I do. And we're going to go counterclockwise because I think Ray would like to talk about him maybe as well. I don't know. So I basically said, you know what, I'm going to really, now that we had some time off and haven't really had any games to watch, I decided to do a little research on this gentleman, everything from, transfer market to all these other things. I want to see his injury history and everything else, but I also want to see some highlights. And Hull City put up 2 months ago this nice little video with 50 of his goals in chronological order. And let me tell you, man, they also showed like the build up to those goals as well. It wasn't just like, quick kicks and there you go. He runs. He not only runs, but no matter what angle he's in, he can use either foot, which is really, really crazy to me. I mean, you don't really, it's people out there, they do it. I mean, players out there are like that, but not many, man, not many. A lot of people still try to favor their, favorable foot. But this mother son of a gun, man, he laser shots in between, like he'll be literally perpendicular to the goal. And I don't know how the hell he'd manage, to smash like right in between the goalkeeper and the goalpost. He did that like 3 or 4 times. Three or four of his goals his 50+ goals with them were like crazy shots that should not have, like, there's no way in hell anybody could do that. So, and other ones, I mean, he'd be building up. He'd look like he's going to go with his right foot, and then he just smashes it with his left. Laser shots. Also loves to use his head. And he's also scored some penalties with them as well. He's a very confident penalty taker, which is great, especially with someone as aged as Mark Noble around the club. It'd be nice to see, well, who's going to do that next. Ray, what are your thoughts on Mr. Bowen?
He's annoyed me now.
Because of the deadline day?
No, he hasn't messaged me. I told him I bought a shirt with his name on the back of it. He loved that. But, you know, he was talking about FIFA. He used to come to my club. Now he doesn't even call. Doesn't even message. I feel like the answer anymore. Bastard. He's big time now. He's earning these loads of dollars a week.
But aren't you proud of him, though?
But no, honestly, yeah, no, I've seriously. He's done really well. He's finishing in the championship, has got in the training team that he deserves. We did, before we did just chat about West Ham and him coming here, he was like, I would love to go to London. So it is, when we was linked with him above Crystal Palace, it was always going to be West Ham. So it's very exciting times.
Yeah, he had a tough time getting here, though.
Yeah. He can't drive.
Yeah.
But but yeah, so I think this Wednesday he's going to start. I hope he does. He should do, because I feel like it'd be good to see him getting the minutes under his belt. I think he's just going to go out all guns blazing, fresh air on Wednesday, because like he's going to do stuff that we're like, oh, that's like Antonio used to do it. So yeah, I can't wait. Looking forward to
but he keeps it down.
And I'm going.
Awesome, Charlie. What do you think of this man? I know he's not Jordan Hugo, but
no, allow it. It's not deep to me like this. Yeah, I'm excited. Didn't Antonio also make his debut against City? I'm trying to remember. I think he might have. But yeah, no, I'm really excited. I'm really, really excited. I think he is. Depending on where you play him, depending on how the tactics format, the like lineup ends up being and the formation and all that, I think he's exactly what we need. And it's really, really exciting to see someone who is unshackled by their sort of fear and depression right now. Because, you know, we all saw the James Collins stuff about Mark Noble and how he's been feeling, and it's just the, you know, the mental side of football is something that is all too often forgotten about. And I think he hit both Souček to an extent as well, but mainly him coming in off the back of playing incredibly well, scoring loads of goals, which you've alluded to, and just having that confidence to just step up and go at him. And that's super exciting to me, because all too often you look at a player and they lose the ball and their head goes down, and the only person who doesn't really do it is Antonio. He just sort of carries on running headfirst into everything, and he always will do. But I'm excited to see someone who can actually do that again, and someone who has that confidence and hopefully give City something to think about on the counter-attack.
Yeah, the reason why I mentioned that I think that he's probably a selfish player is the fact that two of his 50+ goals that I saw, he actually nicked from his own teammate. The ball was going in, but he made sure he tapped it in so he could get credit for it. And I'm like, I love that, though. You know what I mean? You got to love that about him. I mean, it's he's selfish. He wants the goals, and that's what we need. We need that hunger, and I hope that hunger translates over to his career at West Ham. Tex, what do you think about Mr. Bowen?
Oh man, y'all are about to hate my ass. But here's what I'm going to tell you. I like the player. I saw the video. I think the guy can play. I mean, I have no issue with him, but I have a massive issue with this being a transfer that we need to rely on. We're in a damn relegation fight, and I'm not trying to be mean. I don't think Jarrod Bowen is going to be a guy that's going to transform the team. When you buy a player from the championship, I mean, even Mikel Antonio, who is probably our best player right now. I mean, that's an argument you can make, but the point is he took half a season to get going. And so I just don't buy like to me, it's not the purchase of Jarrod Bowen. It's the fact that we're hanging our hopes on a championship player. And I'm sorry, but I felt like the squad we have before Bowen even came on, we have enough talent not to get relegated. And I've been incredibly pessimistic with West Ham United because I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, Jarrod Bowen's going to turn it around. Because the truth of the matter is, until you experience Premier League football, who knows what you're going to react to? You know, you never know. We got Faguli was supposed to be this phenomenal player.
Yeah.
And he didn't do jack shit. And then, you know, it's a situation where, as far as I'm concerned, I can't sit here and get all excited and giddy over Jarrod Bowen. I'm just not going to. You're playing championship football. You have 50 goals in the championship. I think a red flag goes up with, why did you spend so long at Hull City? Why did somebody finally come get you now? There
were offers. There were other offers out there. There had been. I mean, over the last few seasons. It's just, again, I mean, Hull City was trying to get promoted themselves, but I guess maybe they realized that that wasn't going to happen. Let's try to get some money out of him and you know, try maybe rebuild our squad or something. I don't know, but go ahead. I'm sorry.
I think he's going to be a good player. I just don't think he's going to be a transcendent player.
Yeah,
we're trying to look for everybody to be. And believe me, all of you gentlemen, I want to eat my words on this.
Yeah.
I want him to come out and have the impact Pyatt had. I really do. I just don't see this one player coming in when the real problem at West Ham isn't the players. It's something toxic going on in the club behind the scenes.
Yeah.
And it's leaking out onto the pitch when our team goes out because no offense, you look at our starting 11 when we're fully healthy, we're a top 10 side. I don't care what anybody says, we are. And adding Jarrod Bowen for a depth piece I really like, but I don't think that Jarrod Bowen's going to be this guy that's going to transcend the team and slingshot us up the table. But I do agree. I think he's going to start because Moyes doesn't have much of a choice right now.
Not really, no. And Gary in the chat room, Gary Perez is the guy that the other American, English American, I should say, that came over to London when I was there too. He makes a great point. So you have to play these players week in and week out, otherwise they're going to lose confidence and end up like previous signings, and that's the point. So basically, if he starts right and he does okay, and for whatever reason Moyes just says, all right, well, I got somebody else that's healthy next week, I'm going to bench him this week and bring him off the bench next week and not play him a full, and so on and so on. And then maybe like, okay, then the week after that we'll start him, and then maybe not. Just sit on the bench. If we got Bowen, we got Souček, play him. That's it. Just play him, and until they just completely show you there's just no hope. I'm not saying a Yeti is any good, but I'm just saying maybe if we did that with him, we might have seen something different. The guy's barely even played, but and we just keep talking shit about how he's done nothing. But again, he hasn't played 90 minutes 3 or 4 weeks in a row. I don't know, but anyway, great point, Gary, in the chat room there. Dan, what are your thoughts on Bowen?
I'm excited. Honestly, I think that you look at what we've done with Antonio, was also a championship player. He's come up. No one knew about him. People knew about Bowen, a little bit different. But I agree with what you said previously. He's a goal scorer. He's selfish. I don't think that we can look at it over our next 7 games and judge him because our next 7 games are very difficult. I don't think you can describe the player based on the next 7 matches.
Unless he does well. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
If he comes out and scores a freaking hat trick against Liverpool or somebody.
Unless he does party.
Dan,
what I'm saying is the next 7 games for us are difficult. And you can't pinpoint him as the one player that's going to get us out of trouble. We're in a big battle now. Let's face it. We're 18th. Our next 7 games, where are the points coming from? Yeah. But he's a good addition. And I think we got a bargain in what we paid for him. And as soon as we were linked with him, I got excited. You
Yeah.
know, and then, transfer day, and it comes to whatever time the window closed, 5 minutes before, we still haven't signed him. And I'm sitting there on my bed thinking, come on, get it going,
Yeah.
This is an exciting player. And, he's got stamina, work rate, he gets up and down, and like you said, he can finish with both feet. And he's not the tallest player, but he can head the ball.
Yeah.
And he doesn't get many assists, but he's a creator.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that, who's he going to start instead of? Maybe Snodgrass, but you can say Snodgrass has arguably been one of our best players this season. Is he going to drop Felipe Anderson, who's, Moyes is an admirer of him? I just hope that he gets the minutes. I hope that he's not
me too.
an impact off the bench player. And
I mean,
think
that's the thing, right? Like Tex and Dan have both said it. Really, it's about how he gets played. I think I'm excited for him, and I think Tex, you're probably excited to see him play. You're probably excited to see him come onto a pitch. It's just the crux of the issue just comes down to how has he played and where has he played. Like, not only do we have a lot of players, like you said, Snodgrass, we also have Fornals, who just exists apparently only in our dreams because he never seems to start on the actual football pitch. You have Snodgrass, who's been one of our better players. You've got Lanzini, who apparently exists only in David Moyes' dreams as a good football player.
Yes.
Flipping playing him regardless. You've got Felipe Anderson, you've got Antonio, you've got Yarmolenko coming back. There's not a lot of space in that team, right? So where does he fit in, and how does David Moyes play? Because if David Moyes plays his typical 4-5-0-0-1, because that's how isolated Haller is at times, I don't know how. Like, I want Bowen to be effective in that role, but he might not be super effective in that role because he's just not going to be anywhere near the goal.
Well, would you start Haller with him?
Yeah, I would play him in a front three with Haller and Antonio on the other side.
I like that.
And you play Bowen on the left with Haller?
Bowen on the right.
I gotta
So you
respect
put Antonio on the left.
you.
Sorry,
play-
go on, Tex.
So
you got to play
I
Antonio.
can see Antonio playing on the left.
I guess it depends on the game, right? If it's a big team like say City, I start Antonio up front by himself. I don't even play Haller from the start because I just think that's not his game. His game's not. He's not going to stretch the defense in the same way that Antonio will. If we're fit sitting deep, which we are going to do against the Pep Guardiola side, because that's just the way these things happen, play a long ball out to Antonio in behind, just boot it. It doesn't really matter where you boot it. The dude will run after it, and it's going to cause problems for those defense. Remember when he did it against Chelsea? I think it was the first season at the London Stadium in the cup match. He played up front by himself and he caused absolute havoc against them. And that was a great Chelsea team. I think they went on to win the title that year. That's what he needs to do. But against a smaller side, against when we come up against teams who are in and around us, I think having the focal point of Haller with Bowen coming in on one side and Antonio coming in on the other, I think that's the key to really putting those teams to the sword, because they can sit deep against us. City won't. And there's no point in playing Haller up front in a game where he's not there sitting deep. It's just not going to happen. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So Antonio starts up front. But against City, I mean, he has to play. Bowen's playing regardless. It's just about where you play him.
Tex, you're
That's
fuming
fine.
over there.
Yeah, I'm having nightmarish flashbacks to the last game. The moment we pulled Snodgrass and Antonio off, we fell apart, and we conceded 2 goals to give the tie. So I'm not saying that Haller shouldn't play, but right now, based on form, it is 100% Antonio up front. Snodgrass cannot be off the pitch. He is the only player we have that's dangerous from a set piece. He's the only one. Fornals is like, I like Fornals, I do, but he's not ready. And Fornals
He's
is
no
like,
pace to it.
well, the problem with Fornals is like, if you ever played FIFA and you play the guy that knows how to do all the stupid tricks, but he doesn't actually know how to play the game, that's who Fornals is. He's that guy. Every fucking pass goes right into the feet of a defender, and like I can just.
Well, now, hold on. Now you're talking about Fredericks.
Well, I mean, it's just there's a difference between somebody like I coach football out here in California, and there's one thing that gets coaches fired, and that word is potential. And Fornals has a lot of potential, but we don't see a lot of results. And so there's no way that we cannot play Antonio up front with Snodgrass on the right-hand side, because they have been the most effective players that we've had.
All right, so hold on. My fucking head's gonna explode too. Maybe my hat's just too tight. The words Antonio and up front, I don't like that. I don't like that at all. That gives me nightmares. What I do like is that if so long as he's not the centerpiece. If he's not the centerpiece, I'm happy. If there's like Charlie was saying with 3 up top, and he's one of the right side of the 3, then I'm happy. But if it's a lone striker situation, or it's a 3 striker situation, he's the middleman. Hell no. We did that already, and what he do? He spent the whole fucking game running over to the side, and we're like, he's making these runs off to the side of the box, and we're like, wait a minute, there's nobody to pass to in the box, buddy, because that's where you're supposed to be, And he just by habit he fucking loves to run down the sides, runs down the wings. So he's either a winger or he's I mean, I definitely want him near there. Absolutely, I agree with that. But I would, Jesus Christ, don't ever let him be up top by himself. So when you say up front, just clarify that, please, because up front as in what?
He's definitely not a right back.
Well,
He's better than Fredericks.
I'm going to stand by it. I'm going all in, chips to the center of the table, Antonio up front by himself, because he is the only guy that I have seen in the past 2 months that actually causes a problem in there. Now, I know he's going to sky 3 shots over the bar. He's going to shoot a shot that's ridiculous, but what am I getting out of Allaire? So Allaire's
nothing. We damaged him. The point that Charlie was making earlier about, actually he was counterpoint. Not counterpoint. He was mentioning your guys' point, Dan and Tex, saying that it all depends on how we play Bowen, right? I mean, we need to play to his strengths, blah, 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 which we didn't do with Allaire, which is why Allaire is now shit in our eyes. Because, and obviously, I mean, he's deflated, defeated, because he didn't have people around him like he had at Frankfurt. I don't know what he was thinking even coming here. Like, did he think all of a sudden that when he signed that contract, was he told that there was going to be players around him, like that were going to help him out and he could feed, and then they'd feed him back and he'd score goals? I don't know, but yeah, he's ruined.
GSB at all? Of course, he was told shit that's not true. We've got, of course, he was told shit that's not true.
It's all lies.
Yeah,
you get him there and then you treat him like shit. He does it to they do it to everyone they sign.
Right, Raymond. So what do you think? Antonio up top?
No, definitely not. Antonio needs space to run in. He's like a Giselle. He needs space to run down that wing.
Yes.
Little bit of field in front of him. Just run, Giselle. Run like the wind. And and then he can like sky it into the penalty box or something for Allaire to bring it down. I think that's what he'd do well. And I think him and Bowen swapping either sides. Would be fantastic. And with the Snodgrass thing, I think Snodgrass and Noble need to play opposite. So either one of them two play, because Noble needs rest. And I think that Snodgrass is the only player that probably can fit in Noble's position alongside Rice and works really hard.
I'm
so
waiting for that.
Yeah.
So yeah,
that's my daughter's name, by the way.
There you go.
Well, the thing is, I back Tex, right? I would play him centrally against City.
Yeah.
I would play Antonio centrally against City. I would have Bowen on his right, and I'd have someone on the left. I haven't thought that far ahead. But for me, it's a midfield 3, and Snodgrass is in that. It's a
exactly.
Rice,
that's what I think. I was just going to ask that next, Charlie.
And I'm not a super fan of Snodgrass in the centre. I do actually, I quite like him on the right, to be honest, because I like the fact that at any one point he'll take one touch onto his left and put the ball directly into the box where a striker should be. I quite like that about him. I'm not going to lie about it, but we need the work rate against City, right? So you have that 3 because Snodgrass is going to give you the work rate. He's not fast. I mean, if it's a race between him and Fornals, I'd rather just go to bed because I will sleep quicker than they will actually get to the finish line. Let's be real about it, but he's going to give you that work rate. Socek will give you hopefully some sort of defensive thing to actually kind of pass, and Rice will get you defensive thing as well. So you need that work rate, and I think Snodgrass fits perfectly into that 3. And then you play Antonio centrally. I don't want to say by himself per se, but in that central role with people supporting him. But when that long ball comes in over the top, that's where he's going to be most dangerous. Like, don't get me wrong, he's going to run onto it like a lunatic. He's probably going to boot it over the bar, but at least he's going to do least he's going to get in and around the box. Like, and that's something we lack, especially if we're playing Haller. And I'm a defender of Haller. I did a whole video about it. Trust me, some people in the comments hate me about it. That's fine, but he's not going to work against City because it's just not going to be his game unless he's supported. And Antonio can do his job without support, with or without the support. He will do the same thing.
He
And that's
cannot
my
do
argument.
the job in the center of the pitch, though. He's not. He's so used to being on the wings, on the side. Even when we played him in the as a forward, like I'm telling you, go back and watch. He loves to just stay away from the center. He loves to bring the ball away and go to where he can run, like Ray was saying. He doesn't know what to do with himself in there. I mean, he loves to come into the box from an angle or from horizontally with the pitch, the fucking goal. And oh shoot. Oops.
You said
Sorry.
You said it less than a minute ago, Tim.
No. You see, this is what happens when we talk about Antonio. It gets me going. That or Fredericks or yeah.
Wait till we start talking about Tompkins.
Ooh. Yeah, as a matter of fact, yeah, I bought a Tompkins shirt on eBay. As a matter of fact, tonight that was like $10, dude. But it was because it was a size small, which that definitely ain't fitting me. But I'm gonna hang it up in the background. Just gonna say Tompkins. I mean, actually, it's from the 9-10 season, so it actually says number 30, not number 5. But yeah, I'm super excited for that.
I'll say this: I am totally fine with Antonio not being the center forward if they do what I've always wanted to see them do and put Yarmolenko as the main striker.
Ooh, the forgotten man. Yes,
I just think Yarmo's a guy like he's 6'3". He's proven it with the ball. He's incredibly accurate with it. That to me, Yarmo not being healthy really hurts because he can play like 4 positions up in the front. So I would love to see him be the striker. I really would, to see what he can do.
Yeah, I would love that. I mean, listen, I don't understand. We have a great squad. We really do. If you think about all these names that we keep talking about, it's like these guys are they're good. They're really good, and they can do amazing things. But again, if they're managed correctly, if they're
can I add
trained,
on that Antonio thing?
Sure, go for it. Man.
Man City are going to start Fernandinho at centre back. He's not a centre back. They don't have 2 centre backs. Antonio's work rate. If Fernandinho starts as the left centre back, I would play Antonio right wing. If he starts as the right centre back, I would start Antonio at the left wing and let him run at him. He can cause problems. I don't think he's a centre forward by himself. And I would drop Haller and I would put Antonio and Bowen as the front 2 and give them a free role. Let them work it out between them. It's his first game for West Ham. Bowen, if he starts, is going to come out and I think he's going to make an impact. He's going to run his ass off. He's going to get on the ball. He's going to try and make things happen. Fernandinho is Man City's weak spot for me. Antonio's pace can cause some issues there. That's all I wanted to say on that. I think whether he's a starter as a forward or as a winger, Fernandinho is their weak spot.
See, that's my problem. I tend not to. My whole life is West Ham. It's crazy. Like I don't pay attention to the other clubs as much as I should. I used to, yeah. But I'm just so consumed. But yeah, that's a great point, dude. I didn't realize that. But yeah, if Fernandinho's starting, man, that's a great point. All right, let's. Everybody good with this topic? We can move on to the next one.
We should play Tompkins at left winger and have him cut inside and shoot his right peg, right in top bins. Bang, let's go. No messing. City ain't got a chance. Bring him back. Get him in. None of this messing about. None of this talk. I don't care. Get him in.
Well, my thing is, I think he could be right back. That's what I would love to see him. Right back. And somebody posted on Facebook the other day. It was actually an article from I can't remember who it was, Hammers News or somebody like that was talking about. Yeah, it was a mistake. And I'm like, hell yeah, no shit. I talk about it all the time. It was a mistake. You don't let the guy go, academy boy, et cetera, et cetera. I mean, I understand he wanted more playing time. And we had James Collins, blah, 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 who was like 38 years old, or he was 36 at the time. But I mean, he was like 400 years old, and he wasn't going to be around forever. So why would you get rid of the man that you just signed a deal till 2020? I mean, they signed him to a 5-year contract extension, which is another topic that's out there right now. Like, why do we keep signing these fucking players to these long-term deals and then see you later, bye? I mean, they end up not even sticking around. Like, that makes no sense. It doesn't make any sense to me. I mean, unless they think that they'll get more money because if they're on a 1-year deal or their deal is running out, they get less money, maybe. I don't know. Whatever. All right. So speaking of money and transfers and all that other good stuff, let's talk about the price tag, the 90 million pound price tag on Declan Rice. Is it real? Did Moyes really say that? And if he did, would you take 90 million pounds for Declan Rice over the summer? Let's start with Ray and go back around counterclockwise.
I'm going to say yes. We need to take it. I think if the board haven't got any money for signings next year, we need to sort out our defence completely. I think we need a new left back, we need a new right back, we need centre back, at least one. So I've actually been thinking about this, and like this might be a topic for the end of the season, is about who needs to go and what kind of player we need to look to bring in the summer. But yeah, 90 million, I don't think you can turn it down. He's going to want to go because he's not going to want to be playing a relegation fight next season. And we need the money to rebuild. That's my views.
I'm saving mine till the end, obviously, so I'm not even going to comment on that. Charlie?
I don't want him to go, just want to point that out, but I think it's a kind of we're going to have to.
Hey, Charlie, what do you say?
Is 90 million enough? I don't know. The thing is, it's that I think the text was talking about potential, right? Like, is his potential 90 million plus? Yes. Is he worth that right now? No, I don't think he is. He's not. I mean, look at the players that have gone for 90 million in recent times, or in and around that number. He's nowhere near that level. The bigger problem is I just don't trust us to reinvest it smartly. If we had a competent transfer committee, let's say, or transfer system, aka a director of football that isn't David Sullivan, I would say yes in an instant. I would say, yeah, take it and then build a team, because for 90 million you can get, I mean, that's 3 30 million pound players, which, although 30 million pounds isn't what you used to get 10 years ago, 30 million is still a substantial amount of money. And 3 of those would do you a huge amount of things. Get a right back, for example. What a time to be alive that would be. But the problem is, for me, it just all depends on the transfer committee. 90 million is very, very difficult to turn down, though, being real. That's a huge amount of money. That's a huge, huge amount of money.
Tex.
Yeah, it's a no-brainer. If they meet the $90 million asking price, if that's what the price is, you 100% you sell him. And Tim, I know that your ears about to light on fire here, but the team we all hate, Tottenham, they sold Gareth Bale for $100 million, and they are now a consistent contributor in the Premier League. They're always in the top 6. We call it a top 6 now because of what they've done. They're currently sitting in 5th, and I think all of us would agree Tottenham haven't been as scary this year as they have in the past, and they even did a managerial change, and they're still in the top 5. So you 100% do it. But the point was made by Charlie. Do we trust those people with 90 million to make the proper investment to get us back the players that we would need to fix the squad? Because you could go buy 3 $30 million players, like you said, really young, good up-and-coming players for the future, because that's what you would be doing.
But would we do that? But would we do that?
Do we? Because I would tell you that we have not had a manager yet that's willing to play the youth. Kind of with Pellegrini, kind of. But the reality is, why is Grady Diangana not on the squad right now? That bothers my soul. I don't understand that at all. Declan made it through. Ben Johnson got he got a little bit of a sniff. We're having issues at striker. Where's Silva? Give him a run out there. Who knows what he's going to do? The point is, we don't have a manager. So Charlie makes the best point of all so far. What the hell do you do if you don't trust the board to get the right people in? But if you're going to give me $90 million for Declan Rice, and that's the asking price, It's not even a question. I mean, you sell him. I don't want to sell him. I'm 100% with Ray. I love the guy. I want him to die in a pink and blue shirt. I really do. But the reality is 90 million changes our club if it's invested correctly.
Right. I'm sorry, Dan.
I agree with you, Tex. And what Tottenham did when they sold Bell, they regrouped and they're established. As much as I hate to say it, I hate the team, but they've done well. West Ham won't do that. I think he's worth the 90 million. I would sell him instantly, but with the tight-ass owners that we have, are they going to spend the money? Are they going to drop 50 million on a new striker and keep the 40 million? Or are they going to go down to the Championship and buy some cheap players and pocket some? You've got to look at it as if we're going to rebuild, then rebuild. Don't sell him unless we're going to rebuild the right way. Like you said earlier, Tim, we're a good team. The players that we have in our team, no one shows dedication. We score a goal. When we score a goal against Man City, look at the first person whose face lights up. It's Declan Rice.
Yeah.
He loves the club. He doesn't want to go anywhere. But he's not a relegation fight player. He's a good player. And now he's just, started for England and stuff. Teams are looking. And it's not just going to be in England. So I was excited when Man U signed Bruno Fernandes. It kind of took the attention away from Declan Rice a bit. But these teams have all this money. They're not knocked back by 90 million. So do we take it? Yes. But only if we rebuild the right way.
Yeah. So
Before you start your rant,
okay.
I just need to get comfortable. Go on. I'm ready.
Do I have to sit back?
Yeah, there we go. All right. So first of all, if I would absolutely take 90 million pounds for Declan Rice. I mean, I would have taken 80 when that was offered last time around. I mean, he's not worth that much right now. He might be worth that in the long run. I mean, meaning the loss of him, I mean, would translate to that. But I mean, he's not that valuable to me right now. He's valuable 100%. I love the guy. He's a great player. I mean, we need him around the club. And yes, if he grows with the club, he could probably grow into an 80 million pound, 90 million pound player. But he's not there yet. And his best years, he's not even close to his best years yet. I mean, he's at least 2, 3, 4 seasons away from being a superstar. You know what I mean? But my point is that it's just going. When Tex was talking, it was driving me crazy because and also Charlie too. You guys are talking like, okay, well, we get the money, blah blah blah, and we spend it. We do what Tottenham did or whatever the case may be. If we get 90 million pounds, say from Man United, it's going to be 90 million pounds. It's not going to be a West Ham transfer. Like meaning, it's not going to be 4 million now, 5 million later, 10 million later, blah 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 blah. So the 90 million pounds that we get now from Manchester United or whoever the club may be, is going to come all up front. We're going to get it. And then we're going to, and GSB are going to pay the other transfers that they owe because they didn't pay Hull City 28 or whatever, 22 million all up front. There's no way in hell they did that. It's like, okay, we'll give you some cash now, blah, 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 but we're going to call it a 22 million pound transfer. So what they're going to do is they're going to use that money and finish paying off these transfers of the money that they owe. That's what they do. They make sure that their bills are paid so that they make sure that their finances are in order. Their personal finances are in order. And then eventually now they'll have their credit back again so that they can say, okay, well, yeah, we'll do a 30 million pound transfer and then we'll do it our way again, where we'll say, well, we'll give you 4 million now and then, another, 26 million down the road over time or something like that. That's how the board works. But so I wouldn't be too excited because those type of, my point is those type of transfers, by us doing transfers that way is why we didn't get Carvalho or whatever his name was from Sporting. It's the reason why we've dropped the ball on many different transfers and a lot of transfers didn't go over the line because we didn't have all the money up front. Okay, because that's not how we roll here at West Ham apparently. Oops, I just
They'll sell him.
There we go. So anyway, I would absolutely if the money was there, I'd sell them over the summer, and obviously like whether we're in championship or we're here now. Rebuild. I mean, we don't know. I mean, Moyes. Yes, they're saying in the chat room that Moyes is like, He's made a couple good moves already. Souček, I'm super excited for Souček to see him firsthand, like trying his ass off to like impress the supporters there at the stadium and people watching. You could tell he was trying to impress in his first match. Nervous or not, he threw that out. He was moving. He was getting up there, helping out, and up front, he was helping out in the back. He was doing whatever he had to do. Good on him. So I can't wait to see more of him, and I'm excited to see Bowen. So great, 2 great moves. The Randolph thing is another story, and I'll let that go for now because he did make 2 good signings. So anyway, do I trust Moyes with the money? Yes. I mean, I would give him the benefit of the doubt if over the summer, but I don't know. I just don't see. David Sullivan, man. I mean, if they put their hands on the transfer, it's 50-50 with them, right? Or I mean, no worse than that. But look, we've made 2 recent signings, but that are decent. But again, it all depends on who's managing these players, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. I don't know. That's I guess I'll do my rants over. But anyway,
your rants over the summer are going to be amazing.
Yeah,
David Sullivan is inevitably in control of everything. We sell Rice for 60 to 70 million. It's going to be amazing. What's meant to be like? Subscribe now if you haven't, because trust me, you're not going to want to miss them. They're going to be some top class rants. What I will say, right? I don't think we'll get 90 million for Rice. We can ask for it, but I don't think we'll get it. I think 70 million probably tops, and even that's pushing it. B, I don't particularly trust David Moyes with transfers. He's made 2 good ones recently, but he also has done a lot of stupid stuff. I mean, if you look at his track record everywhere else, it's dodgy. But then if you look at just with us, I mean, what happened with James Maddison? Like he scouted him for 1 game and went, not feeling that guy. Nailed it. Well done there. Yeah, I mean, the thing is even if you look at Tottenham's ones, right? How long did a lot of those players take to bed in as well? I mean, like Eric Lamela, you can make the argument never fully bedded in, but you'd only make the argument, I would say, that they got their money's worth last year, maybe slightly year before that, and they signed him what? When did that happen? That was like 2013 or something when Gareth Bale got sold. That's a long time.
Yeah,
that's a long time. Players don't just instantly bed in, and when we're not, as a club, very good at giving these people chances.
They made some shit signings with that money, and then they sold those players, and then they rebuilt with the money.
But that's the thing. You buy. That's the thing. If you look at like, say the 30 million pound thing. What about if you say 15 million? But we're getting real semantic with the money here. But let's say 15 million pound players. Half of them turn out to be flops.
8 Hugels, yeah.
Listen, now we're talking my language. Okay? No, but like realistically, you say some of them don't pay off, and you sell them for 10 million and take a knock. But if some of them do pay off, all of a sudden you can make profit again and again and again. And that's what we should be doing. We should learn as a club when to sell players. Sell them when they're at that peak value, because we're not going to get anywhere near as much right now for Antonio as we would have 2 years ago. We wouldn't have got anywhere near what we were getting quoted for Cresswell when he was getting linked to Liverpool. There are a lot of players at this club who
Lindsay,
and don't get me wrong, at times you look at it and you go, oh, that's I'm really glad we've kept him. But sometimes you have to take 1 step forward to take 2 steps.
Have we ever made a nasty profit, like a really nice profit off of anyone under the?
We had Dimitri Payet, who was arguably one of the best players in the world that year, and we sold him for £25 million. And he's old.
We only purchased him for what, 8 though, or something like that, or was it 8 or 13?
I think it was
10.
Yeah, so we made a mass. So that's probably one of the biggest profits we've actually made this whole.
And that's from one of the best players from the season.
No, I know.
That's what I mean. We're just not good at it. We're just not good at it. We need to learn how to do it. That's one of the main things that holds us back. Look at Maguire for Leicester. Someone mentioned it in the chat. Look at Maguire for Leicester. They bought him for next to nothing he bought him for it wasn't nothing, but it was a small amount from Hull, and then ended up selling him for 80 million. Then they can reinvest that. Look at these people. If you don't sell to reinvest, you're not going to go forward. It's a sad fact of life.
That just goes back to, do they really care? I mean, is that part of the business what they care about?
I just think that's stupid.
It is stupid. You are right, 100%. But it doesn't appear over this 10-year tenure that that's what they're in the business for, is to make profit off of transfers.
Honestly, I feel like it's one of those things where they've got a bit of FOMO about it. Not to use a horrendous term that marketers use, but they've got a bit of FOMO. They go, oh, but if he stays for a season more, he'll be worth even more. We can sell him for more. It's the sort of gambler's mindset in a sense. And it's like sometimes you just got to take the hit and then you do it's the right thing. The problem is A, they're not smart enough to do that, and B, they're not smart enough to reinvest it correctly either. So
And they're not smart enough to get a director of football because they don't know how to use them.
They're also not smart enough to not like tweets that are very, and let's say, not they shouldn't be liking at David Gold specifically.
They're just not smart at all.
No.
I just hope that they're not smart enough to watch this show, because if they did that, I would probably be banned from ever going to another game.
If they did,
All right,
Jordan Hugo would be at the bloody club, and I wouldn't be stressing out about my life as much. But yet here we are, Hugo-less. Yes.
Let's briefly talk about. No, I don't even want to do that. Not right now. We might get.
Question. Do you reckon at the end of the season, do you reckon they will look at getting a director of football or not?
No.
Not with Moyes there.
I think they'll get a head scout and call him a director of football, but he won't be director of football.
And he'll be head scout of one.
I don't. I think you all need to realize. I just want to make something clear. David Moyes has not made any good transfers. Sutek's played one match, and we haven't even seen Bowen. So I'm not even going to sit there. I just want to make that very clear to say, oh, he's made 2 good transfers. We don't know
I don't
shit.
think it has anything to do with transfers.
What?
I don't think Moyes has anything to do with transfers. I think he gets little presents.
I thought
No, that's right.
I was under the impression that Moyes got this 18-month contract, and the whole point was that he was going to have a much more say, because last time he wasn't backed at all. He was just there to get us in the 17th place. So now we're stuck with him for another season. The way that I understood it, and I will eat my words if I'm wrong, is that David Moyes has a lot more control at the club than he's ever had before.
Well, Mr. Gabe, I hope this isn't true, because he has watched our show, and I hope he's not watching tonight or the last few episodes. I know he watches our women's show. He told me to my face that he watches our women's show, and that's awesome. Also, the manager of the West Ham women's team, Matt Beard, he actually watched our most recent episode of We Are the Girls of Claret and Blue, and he liked it. That's awesome. Good for them. I'm proud of our recent alley over there. Listen, chat room people and everybody watching on Periscope or Facebook, please participate in what I'm going to do next. We're going to do some hammers polls, and I will pull up as many of the answers you guys give us as well, while our guys are giving our answers. So we'll do maybe 3 or 4, okay? Let's see if I can get these things up here. All right, so the first one, this question is from Brendon's Church, or whatever, anyway. With tickets to Man City away readily available, but rearranged at short notice on a school night, who's going? 1, I'm an away season ticket holder, so I'm going. 2, I'm not an away season ticket holder, but I'm going. 3, I'm an away season ticket holder, a regular away person, but I'm missing this one. Or 4, I'm going to watch it on TV. Let's start with Dan this time and go clockwise. 1, 2, 3, or 4 about the City match. Well, clearly you're not there, so I don't know if you're flying overnight tonight, but
it's a late trip. That's a long drive. I'd honestly go with 3. I would go to most of the weekend games, away games, but I don't know. Work schedule determines a lot there. I'd go to a lot of away games, but a week game, probably not for me.
So this one in particular, you're gonna be watching it at a pub, or you're gonna be watching it at home?
I will be watching it on TV for sure.
Right on.
That's 2:45 here. I'll be getting off work. I drive for FedEx. Done with my route, and I'll be at home watching it, definitely.
Tex, where will you be watching? Will you be watching at Full Circle Brewery?
Unfortunately, Full Circle doesn't open till 4 p.m. and that game out here on the West Coast, I believe, starts at noon.
Yeah.
So for us, it'll be a number 4. We will be partaking this one at Pine and Palm Brewing Company in North Fresno. Don't tell anybody I'm a high school teacher and I'm going to take a half day.
Sounds like a plan, man. Charlie, are you heading over there for that one?
No, I don't do away games. They're just not. They just don't cost-wise. They're just not a thing I can do. but I probably wouldn't go regardless. It's
Not
just
even-
a lot of.
Not even Spurs or Arsenal? Not even. Really?
No, I don't. It is what it is.
Not
It's
even
a
the
bit-
company me in Liverpool, Charlie. I'm very upset about this.
Listen, if there was going to pick one, it would be to see Liverpool, so I can go and see Ray specifically. But yeah, no, I just don't do away games. It's just not a money thing I can do. So
Well,
I'll be
no, I
watching
totally
online
understand.
somewhere.
I totally understand you not going to away games. If you go into Tottenham Stadium, the amount of shower time you would need to get clean after that would be rough. I get it.
I'd also probably leave quite jealous if we're being totally honest. But that's a side issue for another time.
Raymond, where will you be?
So I will be number 2. I'm not a season ticket holder, but I'm going.
Are you on the guest list for Mr. Bowen? Did he?
No, unfortunately, I had to sort out my own ticket, but I can't say anywhere in case Gold Sullivan or Brady are listening. But yeah, it's 45 minutes down the road from me, so I'll be jumping on a train, heading straight there, going to watch a game, and then coming back. So I'm quite excited. It'll be awesome. Might be very, 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 very drunk. So
I
I'll try
will
to get
be.
half-time reaction.
I will be at probably at the staffing agency looking for a new job at that point, and I'll probably be watching and listening on my phone if Ginge gives me a good link on in our Discord. So yeah, check out Gingerbread on Twitter, or I don't know, somehow find our Discord. You got some good links over there. At least Ginge does. I have nothing to do with it. But Ginger's got some good stuff. So, yeah, the next one. There we go. Actually, you know what? I'm sorry. All right, let's just say a couple of us said we'll be watching on TV personally. Yeah, so 86% say they'll be watching on TV. Not many people going. There's only 146 votes too. There's still a day left. So listen, anybody of you watching this show right now, head on over to Twitter and vote. You know, why not? You only got 100 and some. This next one only has, wow, holy cow, 575 votes. That's a good one for Hammers Polls. Should Moyes play 5 at the back against City? Raymond, we're going to go upwards from there.
No, we should play the 4-3-3 for me.
Right on. Charlie.
Same with Ray. No.
That's simple. Okay. All right. Tex.
Attack. That's the only way that you're gonna play in a game with City. At this point, we lose to them 5-0, or we hang with them. So, I mean, in my opinion, you go after them. You don't fear them. They're kind of vulnerable right now, so you go after them.
So that's a yes to should?
No, they should not play 5 at the back.
Well, does that mean wingbacks?
At this point, you just put I think you put the best players on the pitch, even if they're pulling out of position. So you just got to go for it. I don't think playing 5 at the back is going to invite all that pressure on with a team that likes to hold the ball. There's no point.
Gotcha. Push easy, man. 10 at the back. There you go. That's some optimism right there. Dan.
No, we need points, and we can get them on the counterattack. But I would go, if we're going to do 5, we start Rice as a centre back with the original 2 starters. City score, move Rice forward, play more midfield. No 5 for me.
You guys will probably like Gabe's answer. 9 at the back with Antonio up top.
I feel like that could be successful.
Yeah.
I feel like it's what it's going to turn into, regardless of what happens. But we'll see.
We need points. We can't sit back.
All right. Well, I say no, and I think most of us say no. So let's just click no. And out of 576 votes,
To make a very quick case for it, I think if you played at a 5 at the back, similar to how Chelsea did in their title-winning season, where you had a 4-3-4, a 3-4-3.
Yeah.
So you have the wing backs, but you also have like a striker with 2 sort of inside forward almost. For Chelsea were like Hazard and Willian, for example. And for us would be, I guess, Bowen and Antonio or whoever else. I think that could possibly work, but no, just go for it.
Right. Yeah, but 38% say yes. That's interesting. There's a lot of votes on that one as well. Oh, who's this handsome fellow? Look at that.
It's Graham from Knees Up Mother Brown.
Yeah, I was gonna say Sully, but oh yeah, Sully, man, he's been getting out there. He's done a couple of shows yesterday. Double duty. All right, so this last question here, I think it's the last question. Maybe there's one more. No, there's two more actually. All right, this one's from Tony Pearson. He asked a lot of questions on the Heron polls. 6 tougher games we have for the rest of the season are, I'm saying probably the 6 toughest games, I guess, are Man City, Liverpool, both away, Arsenal away, Spurs away, Chelsea at home. Is that really, though? Is that really tough? And Man United. So what do we expect from these? I see anything as we get as a bonus or whatever. So 0 to 2 points, 3 points, 4 points, or 5 points. Oh God! No, wow, pessimistic. Yeah, but anyway, let's go with I'll answer and then we'll go down. All right. So I think we'll get none of the above. I think we'll get a good 12 points out of that. So go ahead and Dan, try to top that one.
No, I can't top that.
That's 3 wins and 3 draws.
Yeah, you're a brave man. I would go Arsenal, Tottenham, maybe Chelsea, Man. I'd probably go about 4 or 5 points. I wouldn't go any more. Maybe a point here and there away, but just depends on formations.
Tex.
So I'm going to say we could get 8. Hold on. They're checking VAR. It's going to be a 3-pointer. Sorry. VAR came through. Touched Antonio's hand. So golden count.
Charlie.
Yeah, I probably agree with Tex. I think 3. Man United, you look at as vulnerable. Chelsea, you look at as vulnerable. Spurs potential, but maybe even Arsenal potential. I mean, we'll get nothing against City. We'll get nothing against Liverpool, but I would say 3 max. More realistically 2, but let's say 3 for optimism.
Right.
I think we'll probably get 4. I think we'll get 1 draw and 1 win out of them. I don't know which one. Probably a draw against Arsenal and a win against Chelsea. I think find some form. And as well, they could in the Premiership and get into Champions League. So they've got a bit of hope after tonight's win as well.
Do we not tend to play well against better competition?
Yes.
Usually. I mean, when it comes down either that or playing against a Norwich or something like that. You don't think that now that we got, Souček and we've had a couple, in Bowen and in this new breath of fresh air a little bit anyway with and now Moyes has had some time to actually train with the guys, get the guys training and so on and start to maybe implement some things instead of just doing not really training at all, really. They just show up before the match and pretty much go. They had quite a crazy fixture congestion. I really think that, dude, at some point we got to snap out of it, right? And we got the players. We've all talked about it. We got decent players in the squad, and look what we did. I mean, we can score goals. We've proven that already, even without Bowen and Souček. I mean, we scored 3 against Brighton. We smashed Bournemouth. But I mean, my point is, we lost 2-0 to a decent Liverpool squad. I really think, man, that once our form shifts and we actually start to click, I think we're going to go on a run. And that doesn't matter who the hell's in our way, home or away. It really doesn't. If our guys figure it out, then their confidence goes up, because that's the the one problem that we have going on right now. Yes, it's the board stuff, it's the management, it's et cetera, but the main thing that is going on is the lack of confidence. Our players are not confident. You can go watch previous matches from other seasons where we finished 10th or 13th or whatever, and they were at least more confident. I mean, even under Allardyce, at least those schlubs that were out there playing for Allardyce, they had fight in them. They had confidence. It was crazy. And even before that, I mean, I was watching highlights from the '86 season, and I was like, wow, these guys were fucking confident. That's why they're winning. They had this swag about them. This really, I don't know. They just had it. But anyway, and that has to do with gelling and clicking. And I think that if we can get past this bullshit and just learn how to click with each other, I think. And once we pull off an upset with one of these big squads right here that we have pulled up on the screen, if we pull off a victory, the first victory we pull off against any of these guys, there's a run. I'm telling you, there's going to be a run because they're going to be like, shit, yes, we can do it. And I don't know, could be now. We don't know.
The trouble is, Tim, is that the next 2 games that we play in Man City and Liverpool, and I just see that the confidence is going to get hit by them 2 games.
They're exhausted, dude.
If we had Arsenal and Chelsea instead of Man City and Liverpool in the next 2 games, I think we might be right. But
I think we're rested, and I think that they're exhausted. I think that with the amount of fixtures that those 2 teams that you're talking about have, their squad, they have a little bit of a deeper squad, but I really don't. I think we could take advantage of that, man. I really do. Plus, I'm the only sane one here. You guys are all batshit crazy.
That's
Can I ask you
absolutely.
a question, Tim?
Go ahead.
You've mentioned Souček a couple of times,
Yes.
and would you drop Noble for Souček?
1,000,000%.
Right.
100%.
Yeah.
100%.
I'm with you. A lot of West Ham fans are very defensive of Noble, and I have been over the years.
Yes.
Souček worked hard last game. He looked a good player. And I think it reminds me of, I don't know if you remember Koyate's first game when he came to West Ham. It was at home to Tottenham. And he was our best player, and he ran his ass off, and he gave everything. Souček reminded me a little bit of Koyate against Brighton the other day.
There you go. There's his new name, the White Coyote. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he's a good addition to the team.
Hell yeah. No, I agree. I agree with that 100%. I was going on my rant, so I missed all the comments, but it looks like, I don't know if anybody else agree with any of the points. So it looks like 2 points. A lot of you guys said 3 points, 2 points. I'll say 3 points just for the sake of what you guys said. But yeah, it's very pessimistic here on Twitter. Only 140 votes, but between 0 and 3 points, it's a good 67%, 68%. Say that.
I mean, let's be real. The City game is the tell-all, right? If Moyes comes out and how he sets up against City, that will show how he wants to set up against all of those big teams, because that will be the blueprint. And even if you discount every game he's played already, this is his no excuses moment. This is the time when he's had the time, he's had the players, he's had everything to set up and go, okay, we're putting up our stall against City. This is going forward. If we come out and we look decent, then we look decent and we can go into those games with a bit more confidence. But the problem is I don't think anyone's particularly confident in the manager. I mean, God knows when I look at interviews with him, I don't think I've ever been less confident of anything in my life. So if you walk into a changing room and it's David Moyes who's going to inspire you to victory, you might as well not as well turn up. So
Kevin Nolan will, I'll tell you that much. And if he's in that dressing room with David Moyes and Kevin Nolan opens his mouth, those bastards will listen. So anyway, yes, it's about time to wrap up here. Before we go, I would like to go around and do our Man City predictions. It seems like all you guys are saying a loss, so let's just figure out what the scoreline is going to be with you guys. I'll start with Ray and go counterclockwise. Ray, what's the score going to be on Wednesday?
So even though I did say that I think we're going to lose, I'm going to go for a 1-1 draw.
Okay.
And that's only because their heads has been turned over the last week with this Champions League stuff. I feel like, they're either going to be coming out and beating us 4-0 or 6-0, or they're going to be like, what the hell's going on? We don't know what's... And I'm worried that we might get a backlash from Man City, though.
Charlie.
3-0 City. I don't have any confidence in David Moyes. I want to be proven wrong. I desperately do. But I don't think he'll set up in a way I want him to set up, and I don't think he will inspire much hope in the players that need inspiring right now. 3-0 City.
Tex.
I think Charlie's been reading my damn notes. I have 3-0. I have a 3-0 loss for West Ham United to Man City. Along with Charlie, it breaks my heart that I've been picking against West Ham, but I just don't see a lot of hope. I don't believe in the manager. I'm just in a pretty shitty place. I would love nothing more than my Twitter feed to blow up with everybody telling me that I'm wrong after we play. And I would love to see West Ham United pull it out. But the truth is, we just don't. There's not a lot of inspiring things right now, I think, for West Ham United.
Gotcha. Dan.
I think we score, but we lose. I think, like I said earlier, Fernandinho is their weak point. We can attack him. He's not a centre back. I will go 3-1 or 4-1 to City. Like Ray said, it depends on the backline.
Cheers for that.
You're welcome.
Well, you're all wrong. It's going to be 7-0 West Ham, and we're going to avenge our season opening defeat, and we're going to go on a massive run. And you're all batshit crazy. I'm the same one here. And on that note, 7-0. I'm telling you, and it's going to be. Well, it is reason because the reason is.
Sorry, are you going to try and justify this?
Bowen's going to get a hat trick. Bowen's going to get a hat trick, and what's his name? Souček's going to get. He's going to score 2 goals, and Alaire's going to score 2 goals. So there you go. Boom, done. And yeah, that's that. So enough said. 7-0, everybody. You better get your bets in. Yeah, that would be hilarious. It's Vieira. Yeah. So that's it. Yes, I am. I swear to God, there's nothing in this. No, anyway. All right. So anyway, yeah, it'll be great to talk about that. You know what? As a matter of fact, if we win 7-0, I'll bring you all back next week. We'll all discuss it and what happened. Swear to God. So
I'll see you in 2 weeks.
Anyway, I just want to thank everybody in the chat room. The chat room was popping tonight. I really appreciate that. And please check out AmericanHammers.net. If you're watching on Periscope or Facebook, please come on over to YouTube and subscribe. Thank you. Click the subscribe button. And then the notification bell, because if you do the notification bell, then you know what? Well, that means you'll know when we post a ton of shows, because there's a lot more shows coming up. And also, I got to mention that we got a shop there as well. But no, so Dan, if anyone here is watching this in North Carolina, find Dan Hardy, posted his name right there. Find him somewhere on social media and catch up with him. Go watch a match with him there in North Carolina. Ray and his pub there, Coyote Ugly in Liverpool. If you're in Liverpool, stop on by, say hello. And you got Ray called Big George with Hammers Chat. Always doing awesome stuff. Always. And Tex, Mr. Tex, American Hammers Radio. When's the next episode going to be done?
We will be recording on Wednesday, so it'll be posted Thursday.
Awesome. Cool. Looking forward to that. That's with Liam. Liam's been on a bunch of our shows as well. Great. And listen, yes, in West Ham Clips, please, if anybody at all has an opportunity to follow West Ham Clips on Instagram or Twitter, please do that. It is the absolute funniest shit I've ever seen in my life. I love alternative commentary, the alternate commentary of the West Ham matches. It is absolutely got me laughing out loud when in places where I shouldn't be laughing out loud. It is the funniest shit. You won't be able to, you seriously, it's like a try not to laugh challenge and watch that. I swear to God. Great stuff. Love it. Yeah, thanks both Sheezy and Tom Whitaker and Gary Parrish and everybody else, PJ earlier in the chat room, and Gabe DeLeon and so on and so on. Thank you all for tuning in. We'll be back tomorrow with an interview with maybe I can pull it up in a second. Vincent Nash. I'm going to interview Vincent tomorrow night. I don't know who's going to co-host with me, but it should be fun. Good time. Love to have the interviews back. Anyway, I'll talk to you all off the air real quick, but everybody else, come on, you irons.
Come on, you irons.